with whatever build, doesn't have to go for the armlet, just braces into BKB.
Where he heads just yet. So far to start things off here, another perhaps slightly less common hero is the gyrocopter. I think I've seen a gyro or two maybe over in the Western Europe games, but this is, you know, a hero that's hardly been picked at all in Southeast Asia.
Not really that popular in SCA or China, and these two regions, they play pretty much against each other in pubs.
Gets tossed back. Abeng takes a lot of damage, but this is perhaps set up a kill onto Zhao Yu. He gets low, but he survives on 9 health. Abeng was in the middle as with like 10 dire creeps there, so I think they're happy to get out unscathed.
The problem is they have no salves, and these two couriers that just came didn't bring any as well. So it gives an opportunity to OB to continue pressuring them.
Gyro's had more or less free thumb down here, just 4 CS to the Tide's name, so being a tough lane for Tide Hunter.
Toss back.
Oh, another toss back, yep. Palos into the tower, but you mentioned kind of the regen favoring OB Neon, so even with the toss, it's Zhao Yu and Playhard who have to play carefully. Also
because they were only level 2 at the time, so level 1, sorry, on Tiny. So even though he has toss, he doesn't have that avalanche to follow up. And usually it's the avalanche that truly matters, as it prevents you from getting away from that tower too fast.
This lane starts to improve for the Tide Hunter. He needs maybe some more regen. Right now he's got the ring out, so at least he's got something to play with. Using that Tiny as a shield to keep himself farming, but it's tough for him.
This lane is... I haven't really moved away from this lane because it feels crucial to see which way this will go. As, so far, at least, it's looking very rough for Tiny and Tide. They're using the tower to heal.
That's the strat.
Yeah.
It almost just feels like a matter of time before someone out of position gives up a first blood. But also top lane, a lot of kill threat here. They hit the arrow. The spear folds it up. Febby, oh, they didn't latch onto the tree there, the cliff. Fortunately, not quite working the way Ryu was hoping for it to.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. Was close, but this is a lane in which Febby can definitely feed if he gets that arrow into the spear. Just be careful. Lane.
Yep. Tiny's rotate in to try and fight over some of these runes. Mamang Daya is going to double back and go for the rune now. Has got the bottle charges. That's going to allow him to heal up a little bit. No X for the time being, but if he hits this torrent, this could be a kill. He's going to walk right into it. Is there a Tidebringer? There's a brain sap, so first blood goes the way of OB Neon.
Yeah, you called it, Mamang Daya, a very proficient Kanka player. That's level 30 on him, right? On the hero.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
Yeah.
That torrent was on point.
He's a spammer.
Yeah, he's definitely a spammer. SCA attacker right there. Bottom lane, Palos gets a kill.
Yep. Down the side. Now the Abatos combo. It's going to get the gyro low, but it's Playhard who's got to get the hell out of here. Another brain sap in 7 seconds, but the right clicks will get the job done. Palos with this early Falcon Blade.
It's early whatever, right? He could have bought, I mean, a couple of raid bans, whatever. They're so upfront on this bottom lane, just enjoying it quite a lot. Tide Hunter only level 3. Does have that ring of health, but there's just enough burst damage. If Palos and Abeng have full mana, they have enough burst damage to even kill him off right now. So, hard lane for the Tide.
Yeah, and the gyro, as low as he got, is still sticking around in this lane, just using some more pulled tangos. He's bringing out some more items soon with the magic wand, so this lane is looking really good for him. All 3 lanes going well for OB Neon's core. It's not terrible for TNC. They're farming up top, they're getting farm on the Ember, but this bottom lane is definitely a cause for concern.
You know, it's hard when a Tiny is just hiding in the trees, reaching experience. In case they go on Tide Hunter, maybe he can make a counterplay.
Yep.
Can they go on Gyro? They're gonna actually go. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Avalanche if they want to try and finish him off here. He's going for the body blocks for now, holding on to the Avalanche. Catches out 2 with it, but Palos still very healthy in the Nightmare, yeah. They set up a Kunkka rotation here. Have they got the X from Mamangdai? It was just coming up off of cooldown. He needs to get a little bit closer with the homing missile. They should be able to find this kill. Play hard to throw the toss and
If I go in, I might die.
instantly crackens it off. That toss perhaps saves his life there.
Yeah, really well played there by the Tiny. Also, X marks the spot. Still only level 1. He doesn't have boots, so it was a bit difficult for him to get closer to the Tidehunter.
Yeah. Trying to do what we saw last game from the Kunkka. Let's TP and kill this Tidehunter.
Yeah, exactly. Last game it was so good for them. What, 2-3 times? Kunkka TP'd bottom, killed off the Tidehunter. They didn't need Kunkka this time around. At least that's kind of good, right? Like, they killed off the Tide even without him a couple of times.
Yeah. Thing going well for them, but now let's be careful because Youe has rotated down bottom on his Ember Spirit. There is a Dire Ward behind the tower, and Palos just tucked himself in. Has a Quelling Blade to get through some of these trees, and it doesn't seem like TNC seem to be aware of his presence down here.
Yeah,
But with the Siege Wagon, this tower could be dying.
Yeah, I guess he's waiting for the Ember to leave, and if Ember leaves, then he can defend. But he's wasting a ton of his time. Like, this is a position 1 that's just hiding behind the tower instead of, let's say, being somewhere else, farming the hard camp.
They are pressuring mid, and I think he's hoping, like you say, that there's an opening for him to make it defensive. But the Ward scouts him out, and Tower going to go to the Tide. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane, Tiny's rotating, trying to bring down Arbang on the Bane. They're trying to set up for this 8-minute rune. Arrow going to come flying through, hits the Tiny. The rune going to spawn top, so all this effort, and Yoe's like, I'm out of here. I want to go pick up this rune as the Kunkka boat does finish off Playhard's Tiny. Febby, X back, pulled in, has another Spirit Siphon, so he's still getting some good lifesteal going, and Naman needs to hit another arrow if he wants to get this kill, and Febby jukes it. Nicely done.
Yeah, that was a little miss. Very close. A couple of nice kills. Obi Neon, at least they get the Tide, but here, is there an arrow now? I don't think so. Yeah, it's still on cooldown. It shouldn't be able to.
Avalanche shots, now the arrow comes in, but Playhard on his Tiny going to tank it. Mamangdai gets pulled in the tower, and with the Searing Chains, he does end up dying. TNC doing a good job mid.
Yeah, Playhard is just having a really good couple of plays on this Tiny. I'm not going to say that he's having the best game of his life, because the bottom lane pretty much sucked for TNC, but the toss on the Tide on bottom lane, now the toss on the Kunkka, definitely making this Tiny work.
Yeah. And it's like the bottom lane sucked for them, but it doesn't feel like that's because of bad play. It's just like gyro bang. Love to kill this gyro. After that good start, he had Palos getting brought low, and Yahweh gets the kill with the help of the Ravage.
He attempted that earlier as well, under the tier 1 tower, when Gyro wasn't showing himself. He was hoping to get that kill. Gyro was too careful. This time around he does manage to find him. A little bit on the Gyrocopter as well to
top lane
on the bottom lane.
Going with the arena here. Onryu trying to finish off this kill with the armlet. Bebby's just Spirit Siphoning up of a creep here, but tolerant from the Mamandai rotation. We'll end up getting the kill here, but Onryu could be in some trouble here. The armlet keep himself alive a little bit longer. Toggles, even with the avalanche there, Onryu is still going to be brought down.
Yeah, he tried to armor toggle his way out, but there was no chance. Mamandai was rotating. He was kind of close. Not close enough. So I like what they did with... Yeah, sorry, continue.
I was gonna say, this is looking really good for TNC, taking over that bottom side of the map, taking the tier 1 tower, and now defending up top. This game currently it has 2 of their heroes top net worth.
Yeah, you pretty much read my mind, exactly what I wanted to say. Just feels really good when you take the tower early on, and then you can rotate your offlaner to defend the safe lane. Just... It just feels so natural, opens up the map for you. Like, there's a different option as well with some offlaners. You can take the tier 1 safe lane and then rotate towards mid, right? Take over the enemy jungle. But Tide, he doesn't excel at that. If he doesn't have Ravage, it's much better to plant the watermelon in front of the tower and just defend like he's doing right now.
It's gonna be a massacre!
They get the spear onto him, but he's kind of just baiting this one. Has some 1 charges, no Ravage for now. TP rotations coming. TNC, they want to defend this one. Ember, Yahweh shows up. Goes on Arbank's Bane to start things off. There's going to be a group of both coming in as well. They want Yahweh's Ember, and they'll get him. Nice use of the Fiend script. Tide still taking a lot of damage up here. They don't have their supports. It's actually Febby trying to push this mid to on tower, but the play how Tiny does show up just in time to get on Ryu. Mars takes a spill. Febby mid. Gets chased down by a gyrocopter. He got too greedy going for that tier 1 mid tower.
I told you, it's starting 0-2.
Yeah, we overconfident.
He was literally alone trying to take that tier 1, but that's what he was doing the whole last game as well, and it worked out for them. You could see the Tidehunter being on top lane. He's literally the only hero in this game that can do that. Stands in front of the tier 1 tower and doesn't die to a Kunkka, Mirana, and a Mars. So continues defending. Ember was a little bit too eager to help him though. Like Yahweh probably could have utilized his time in a different way, farmed somewhere, instead goes in, gets gripped, feeds. Still though, they defend the tier 1.
Yeah, without a way to cancel that team script, Yahweh needs to be a little bit more careful. But yeah, in terms of the big picture of this game, they're creating a lot of room for Young God to keep farming on his Wraith King, and TNC ready to make their next move. They're smoking up. Once again, it looks like they want to defend this top lane.
This time they have Ravage. I'm wondering if maybe just rotating the Tide mid lane would be better and pressuring the tier 1 on mid. Wraith King could connect from the bottom lane, but no, they're just on top. They want Enryu.
Yeah, his Mars had such a good start in the good laning stage, but it's been a couple of deaths in a row. This is going to be a third one. TP rotation's coming, and he does commit the arena, but they don't get him out of there. Bottom lane, similar play. Young God. He's got reincarnation, though.
Well, it'll be hard.
TNC respond. They're TPing already. I think 3 TPs coming. They want to counterplay this one. The reincarnation going to slow everybody up as well. Alice on that gyrocopter trying to be bailed out by the Moonlight Shadow, but they're going to take for this with the gyro's life. The Ravage going to clip the Bane as well on the tree, so they get a +1.
And Abe. I don't know what that was from OB Neon. Like, what sort of a play is to go on the Wraith King under the tier 1 tower? Are you expecting that he doesn't have ulti? He's level 10, like you save a point at least. Did they? Yeah. He had enough mana as well. They couldn't use grip to kind of beat through that. No, I'm not sure. Yeah, that just wasn't the play. They got punished heavily for it.
Yeah, and they know TNC have those TPs because they smoked up top. It's not like they TP'd to get that kill on the Mars, so the TP cooldown's something they should have been well aware of.
Dire's top tower
Game still remains pretty even. The top tier 1 tower finally goes down. Tidehunter not all those TPs bottom means that it's free for Mum and Dai to take. But as far as we kind of go into this mid game, is there like a team you kind of feel like is going to be stronger, given that the gold wise it's pretty even right now?
I feel like that Gyrocopter is always a hero that enjoys being in front, like, of the net worth charts, right? Like, he likes those stacks, he likes being 1k, 2k ahead of the enemy carry, and right now he's actually behind the Wraith King, which made me at least worry a little bit for OB Neon. I feel that it should be a bit easier for TNC. Obviously, it all comes down to the way the other team fights.
Both teams tying off some BKBs on some key heroes here. The Kunk on the Radiant side. Ember has one queued up as well. So see whether or not they wait for those items to come out or if there's going to be some fights fairly soon. For now, both teams seem happy to kind of play keep away and prioritize farming a bit more.
There's no Ravage for 30 more seconds, so Xiao Yu, he's just defending the tower. I think he's playing this Tide on point so far. Yeah, the lane was difficult, but with what he got from the lane, he really made a hero work. Defending top,
down
defending
bottom.
mid.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, great scan.
Step
Yahweh.
lively now. Your admiral is on board.
He and his team see this one coming, and yeah, he's going to remnant out of there. Doesn't want to get caught, so unsuccessful smoke game.
Yeah, he saw the courier. The courier was flying over the ward, I think, and then they just smoked there and he realizes what's coming. Good map awareness.
Allies disappear.
Team trying to use this to pressure this mid-tier 1 tower. Moonlight Shadow will be thrown out here. They see on Ryu in the mid lane, so TNC, they know this Moonlight's being used, and it looks like they're just going to kind of back off a little bit.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
There's Mars as well. Maybe some arena.
Going in. Doesn't have a blink dagger yet. The armlet has slowing down some of his later timings as they are going to throw it next mid, but no follow-up, I imagine. They'll hit an arrow. That's only you want to do anything more. They're just like, okay, let's try bait this Kraken. It's a tide though.
Yeah, you just can't. This is really not the way to go on.
Hunka, he gets ravaged. He has a BKB, but he doesn't get it off. The Abatos is there. And they just delete it. The BKB has just been delivered not long ago, and TNC burst it down and they go to the mid tier 1 tower.
Yeah, he had that BKB, he could have used it. Maybe he thought that they will just not use Ravage in that fashion, but they use it, they take the tier 1 tower on the mid lane, and they go straight into the pit. It's also because OB Neon gave away all their positioning. Like, they gave everything away by going on that Tide Hunter. Yeah, you're poking him a little bit, you're kind of baiting out the Kraken shot, but at the same time, you're revealing where all of your heroes are. And that allows for you to steal Ravage on the Kuka afterwards. Take a good fight.
It's just, it feels like TNC are just very clear idea in mind of like what their key objectives are, and they're just acting in such a bold way. Like, they were going for Roche before the T1 mid even had dropped. They knew that with that kill, they had this window to take over Roche and use this Wraith King power spike with the Desolator to really give themselves a big advantage.
Yeah, the armlet does, so the exorcism straight into the pit. Do you like Fabi's item build, by the way? The 3 fluffy hats?
I love it. Yeah, why not? It's winter time, you know, he's got to keep warm.
That's true, that's true. I've just been warned that I cursed the weather when you asked me if it's cold here. It's going to be minus 15 in the next couple of days, so I'll need to buy one of those Ushanka fluffy hats.
Yep. Get some of your own. Yeah, we don't have those in shops here in LA. Our idea of winter's a bit different to the European winter. But I can assure you it's been very cold, you know.
Yeah, I bet.
We had a nice 25-degree weather today.
It's so cold. Stop it, please. I'm gonna cry for you.
Something perhaps some of these teams and viewers less familiar with in Southeast Asia. It's summer all the time there. It's like, you know, permanent summer in some of these countries. You get the wet season and the dry season. They just gave up having summer and winter. They're like, you know, it's all summer. It's just sometimes there's water and sometimes there's not.
If you remember the book of our minor, there were a couple of teams there that never truly experienced that kind of atmosphere.
I've gone to lands in Ukraine in the middle of winter, and some of the players from SEA will show up in shorts and t-shirts and sandals, and they just walk, even in winter, they're still wearing the same stuff they were at home. They're like, it's just the only clothes I have.
I mean, honestly, that's a lot of Americans as well.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And for some reason, British people too. They show up in Ukraine and they just wear shorts, and they're like, yeah, it's no problem, and then they get sick for like a month.
TNC,
top tower is under attack.
they're sick of this game number 2. They're going for a high ground push. Nice 2-hero torrent. The spear, it doesn't actually connect on the arena. Maybe gets speared out of the arena. Now Kunka with the BKB charging forward, but they haven't killed anyone, and OB Neon have used most of their spells here, including the Kunka BKB.
Link Ravage is there.
Start with a Wraith Fire Blast. They Ravage to follow it up. Catches out the Mars. Omri, you're going to go down on the high ground. They put the couple as well. Nice Abatos combo. Brings down the Bane, and they want the Gyro as well without a BKB. He's got Nax, but he is just so vulnerable to this damage. Young God on the front line still has Reincarnation. They're not done here. Zhao Yu and the Tidehunter will overstay as welcome as Playhard gets the Blink toss back. It's a dieback for the Bane. Nice play from the Young God himself. As Young God is in the high ground, blinking in, looking for those kills. Playhard with the tossbacks is just huge.
Really nicely done by them. They still have a little bit of exorcism to work with, so they pressure the tier 3 tower. There's Mars up. Doesn't have that. Okay, they'll still back out. Yeah. Play disciplined. I respect this. They go back. But overall, why he was pushed out of the arena was the torrent. So the arena and the spear was on point, but he got torrented, so he was in the air and it just goes over the arena afterwards. The spear pushes you out instead. Unfortunate for OB Neon, because the setup looked kinda fine. They had Tide Hunter and that Prophet in the arena, but you just don't have the damage at the moment. You can't take that.
So do you like that OB Neon went out of the base, or do you think they should just be trying to turtle it up a bit more?
No, I feel that they definitely should be turtling up more. But it's kind of difficult if you don't believe that you have the true late game potential. Then it's kind of difficult to justify turtling up.
Okay.
But at this point, I feel that it's a better bet. You need this gyro to have an additional item.
Well, Winston Gyro likes to play from ahead, and he's behind the Wraith King, but not massively behind. I guess the good news, usually, you know, you're losing all these Roshan's towers and things, you're falling really far behind, but the problem is these kills that keep adding up here. They're going to find Arbeng once more. Now we're going to come through on the tide here. He's got the Kraken, no Ravage, still on cooldown. As the Ember does die once, can they get the kill on him a second time here? Youngbug's racing on the front line, he's causing all kinds of problems in your way. He's just shredding through these heroes with the Flame Guard up. He's just getting slide after slide. Mamangaya has no TP out, and with the BKB down, the Tide gets sniped on the backlines here, but the chase is on. They want Mamangaya, and the toss back is there. They've killed off 4. They're looking for 5. It's going to be a team wipe here as OB Neon get obliterated.
They're just taking all these fights that just aren't theirs to take. They go on the Ember, who does have that Aegis. Sure, you kill him off once, but you get wiped afterwards. And it was a nice snipe on the Tide Hunter, at least by the Mirana. He gets that one solo pickoff, also gets instantly punished by Young God. Just a real mess for OB Neon that they put themselves into with these last couple of fights. I think they might have just made this game nearly impossible.
Captain Febby just charges down, ignores the mid wave, and says, let's get this Rax now. Very much see the leadership he's using to lead this team through this game and try and secure them their first victory. This is not a team that's guaranteed to be eliminated from Division 1 just yet. If they can win their last 2 series, there is still hope for them to perhaps be in it. They've only killed the Bane first and the Gyro second, it looks like, but instead they come back onto the Gyro. He just can't move. The lockdown is too much, and Yoe finishes off Arbeng as well. On Ryu, none of these heroes having BKB is a big, big problem as OB Neon just gets picked apart.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now the Kanka as well on the mid lane, he has the BKB, but they just call it. I think at this point, at this point you just call it too. You made 3-4 blunders in a row. One you can come back from, but 3 or 4